Hi, my name is Mike Eskey. I'm Associate Professor of Criminal Justice and the Program Coordinator for the Criminal Justice Program at Park University. And with me today is my colleague, Hank Roehrich, who's Program Coordinator and Assistant Professor of Marketing at Park University. We're both on half-time release as online instructor evaluators for Park Distance Learning. And in this capacity, we perform formal observations on approximately 100 online adjunct faculty members each on an annual basis. We work with a team of 5 online evaluators and a coordinator and the lead instructor trainer. As you can read from the title, we'll be discussing the recruitment, the training, mentoring, and retaining of online adjunct instructors. Just a look ahead, the key is consistency and cohesion of the team, of our distance learning team, our faculty, and our administration. Our gang of 7 has a century of college teaching experience, about 75 years of distance learning experience, and to meet the needs of our military students, between the military spouses on the team and military service of individuals, the team has a century of military service. As an introduction to my presentation, I'll provide you with an overview of Park University. I'll address the online instructor evaluation system, the Park online training course, the online instructor mentoring program, and the Park course development process, and the most recent faculty evaluation model, the faculty online observation, or the FOO. I'll discuss the blend of the Park usage of these programs as a mentoring tool for new faculty, an evaluation tool for assessing online teaching, and a management tool for future teaching and scheduling of instructors. Finally, I would welcome any questions of either the applicability of this approach models to your own online instructional environment, or suggestions on improvement or additions based on your own experiences. We'll provide our contact information and hope to hear from you. Just a perspective of Park. Park University was founded over 135 years ago in Parkville, Missouri. It is founded as an independent liberal arts 4-year institution. The main campus stands on the banks of the Missouri River in Parkville, Missouri, which is a suburb of Kansas City. Park University has 43 nationwide campus centers in 21 states, with 7 completely online degree completion programs and 4 fully online graduate programs. During AY 2011-12, we had more than 50,000 online enrollments, including students in all military branches. Just as a history of our distance learning, in 1972, Park established the military campus centers, and in 1989, the military campus centers became what is now the School of Extended Learning. In 1996, Park expanded its course offerings, adding distance learning, and became one of the first accredited universities to offer online learning. In 2001, Park College became Park University with the addition of our graduate program. Park University regularly utilizes approximately 225 online adjunct instructors, teaching 350 plus courses during an 8-week accelerated term. Park utilizes approximately 400 different online adjunct instructors annually. You know, a challenge for any institution that offers programs at a distance is how to maintain the academic quality and consistency in instruction. Park has taken the initiative to develop a program that ensures that our instructors are recruited, trained, mentored, and evaluated, and has established criteria and standards in which we do each of these. In a session yesterday, it was reported that online learning has increased 840% between 2001 and 2009, and that percentage has continued to increase from 2009 to 2013. As such, recruiting is ongoing. Many of our online instructors were face-to-face instructors for Park and have been teaching for Park University for well over a decade. All instructors complete an application process online through Park Distance Learning. The information is screened to ensure that instructors have included all the pertinent material to include such information as transcripts, vita, resume, etc. This information is then submitted to departmental program coordinators for determination of course certification. Once certified through PDL, the instructor is scheduled for online training provided by PDL. This in itself is the beginning of a long process, and as such, once we recruit someone, we want to keep them for as long as possible. Just first, it was important for us as we moved from a small teaching platform called V-College to collaboration usage of e-college used by hundreds of institutions. As Park experienced a 1,000% increase in enrollments, many times.
If you move the screen and you part of it, yes, it should record. It should record fine. That's just your monitor, not his.
Move it back over here, and then move it back. It happened to me yesterday.
Move what?
Move the whole month.
Can I continue here? As Park experienced a 1,000% increase in enrollments many times over, we needed to ensure that we were developing a consistent product in recruiting faculty and developing a solid evaluation process for retaining and retraining our faculty. After new faculty are recruited, they're required to complete the Park Online Instructor Qualification Seminar, PDL 750. This course is 6 weeks in length and covers the basics of working in the e-college environment. Park courses are developed by faculty members with guidance and assistance of a course development instructional designer. Thus, course development is not included in the instructor training of PDL 750. There is, however, an emphasis placed on the standards of Park University courses, the importance of course objectives, of core learning outcomes, of communications, of grading and grade books, building community, and the like. The key focus of the course is on theory and pedagogy, technology, and the policies and procedures unique to Park University. A key to the PDL 750 instructor training course is consistency. We have retained many of the same instructors for courses for 10 years or more, and of course, the support has increased. We have adopted and continue to utilize the e-college platform. We have continuously improved the recruiting process. We've added the instructional design team, and professional development of instructors is ongoing. And just as a factual aside, instructors are not compensated for attendance at PDL 750, nor are they charged a fee to attend this seminar. Following the completion of PDL 750, to every extent possible, the new adjunct instructor is assigned an online course to avoid any deterioration of newly acquired skills. Additionally, the new adjunct instructor is provided full access to PDL 751. PDL 751 is the online instructor resource forum. It's an instructor-moderated forum, which provides a venue for our online instructors to meet, to share ideas and approaches, to ask for help solving problems. It's a place where they can find information and resources pertaining to their role as an online educator for Park and to their discipline. It also serves in part as a social networking site. This course shell contains much of the information found in online training courses, along with additional information about the various PDL programs and processes, as well as an ongoing faculty forum. Numerous PDL personnel moderate the discussion area, both instructors and staff. I won't go down the nearly non-readable section going down the left-hand side of the slide, but it will be clear. PDL 751 provides the new and the veteran Park Online instructor with information sources, and contacts for answers to all questions in all areas of Park distance learning courses and resources, such as PDL Online, e-college, mentoring, evaluations, just to name a few. The open forums are like the friendly bar of cheers, allowing faculty, new and old, to communicate, to ask for assistance and provide assistance. I was just in PDL 751 the other morning, and there was someone there that was quick with a joke or to light up their smoke. I digress with Billy Joel, but it's a place to learn, to ask, and to help someone, and to be helped, and then to sit down and have a stiff think. As the partial listing implies, you can meet your colleagues and receive information on a number of pertinent topics related to online teaching and learning. PDL 751 is the Swiss Army knife for our online faculty. They can use this website for any and all information related to online learning at Park University and online learning in general. You know, it's absolutely essential to separate and divide the evaluation function of online adjunct faculty from where we were with the online instructor evaluation system. We were simply wearing ourselves down. We were attempting to do three major functions at the same time of mentoring, evaluation of facilitation, and evaluation of course content. Our team of 7 wasn't really truly accomplishing the job for any of the three. We weren't able to provide every instructor with an annual review. We simply had too many adjunct faculty members and not enough evaluators. We were attempting to evaluate adjunct faculty members at the same time that we were trying to mentor them. And certainly this worked when we were providing a nice, helpful, encouraging guidance, but conflicts arose with difficult and non-performing instructors that wanted both support and guidance and expected a glowing evaluation for sometimes subpar facilitation. It was clear that the function of the mentor and the evaluator needed to be separated. A mentoring team was formed, and the evaluators for the OIES developed the Faculty Online Observation, or the FOO, that allowed them to formally observe every online faculty member on an annual basis. The FOO concentrated on the facilitation aspects of the course, and this assured course consistency across sections of the same topic area to include accreditation and quality of programs, and to assure instructor presence and the use of best practices. And it was important to note that the observer was not a friend or a mentor. They needed to maintain a professional distance, remaining unbiased and applying standards equally to all adjunct instructors. The evaluation function of the FOO ensured quality courses and aggregately quality programs. Also, the original OIES initiated somewhat of a tension between the content experts of the department and the online teaching experts of the evaluation team. Often, full-time teaching, mainly in the classroom, are not up to date on research concerning online teaching, and vice versa. Even though our evaluators are all terminally degreed in the academic discipline, they weren't academic subject experts in all disciplines that were evaluated. As such, more responsibility and weight was placed on departmental program coordinators in the process. And this has resulted in much more working together, concentrating on appropriate functions and not competing for control, all to the benefit, to the satisfaction and retention of our online adjunct faculty members. I'm going to turn over the mentoring program aspects to Dr. Hank Roehrich at this time.
Thank you, Mike. Park University has an extensive online instructor mentoring program. Personally, I have been a mentor for Park. Mike actually was the coordinator of the mentoring program when I was involved in mentoring. What happens is a lot of times the instructor will start and they come out of maybe industry or a field where they haven't had the chance to teach. And so the mentoring program is designed to help that transition. The instructor will receive a notification from Park Distance Learning. A mentor will be assigned. A mentor is an adjunct faculty person from Park that has extensive experience in teaching. Then there'll be weekly checklists. There'll be a checklist that is done before the course would start, and then there will be during each week of the course, they'll receive information and feedback as how everything is going. This information then goes to Park Distance Learning, and there'll be a recommendation if the instructor should continue and go on to teach a course, or if they should have additional training. Higher education challenges are a concern, especially in a situation where we have a lot of universities and institutions of higher ed under budget-stressed environments. You look at the funding and program implementation, the return on investment is very important in the area of mentoring, because professional development of faculty is a good way to retain faculty as we grow and we are able to learn new skills, accept new challenges. There is a self-satisfaction with teaching. Cost-effective methods, mentoring program for faculty. There could be an effective approach to the professional development. Now, one thing to consider is having someone where you can utilize the skills and expertise of a faculty person within the organization that can be used as an effective mentor. The established programs and adequate compensation can affect that success of the faculty member. If there is inadequate compensation, then the level of mentoring may fall. It may be unsatisfactory, and the situation for the faculty member may have some challenges later on down the road. Purpose and considerations for mentoring. Mentoring and proper administrative oversight of the program. One thing about Park, they have an established oversight, and as we go through the success ratio of faculty members going through mentors is high. It's a benefit to the institution and the faculty. What it does is it also can limit the potential of student problems and complaints, which is an important factor in decision making. Want to have a clear definition of a mentor. If it is vague, the mentor may have challenges as far as what is acceptable as far as offering advice or working with the faculty member. Provide guidance that enables a mentee to adapt to technological and organizational changes. When I first started, we were very, conservative in the use of technology. And over the years, technology has become a very important part of teaching an online course. Successful mentoring programs utilize adult learning concepts, andragogy, self-directed learning, intrinsic motivation, problem solving, the need to know why learning is taking place, and the application to learning, to social roles, and the drawing from life experiences in learning. And if you think about all these, place it in the perspective of what a mentor does and that environment, and you'll see how this similarity is. Mentors should have knowledge, skills, and competence that contributes to the development of the faculty member. The mentor should be able to work with the mentee so that there is a bond of professional development and the efforts to reach career goals. Mentoring, the mentor should have active listening skills, be empathetic, and self-reflective. If you think about that, if they did not have active listening skills, the challenges or the problems that could arise in problem solving, attempting to collaborate and address the situation could be challenged. Faculty being mentored. It expands the personal relationships so that the mentor or mentee has the opportunity to learn new ways to approach situations, It helps in the listening skills. They also develop the ability to work with others. Along with that, organizational awareness. What is going on within the organization, how the culture addresses certain situations, and how technology is involved and any technological updates that occur. Effective methods of performance management. The faculty mentoring models are effective in professional development, and at PARC it's implemented at the beginning of online adjunct instructor's first term. They're paired with an experienced adjunct instructor mentor, and it's an 8-week program. With it being an 8-week program, there is plenty of time for communication, plenty of time to problem solve, and to collaborate on addressing new areas that the adjunct may have not experienced in the past. There is a time investment involved. The time investment over the 8-week period is limited so that it is a reasonable period of time to work between the two. We seek to balance objectivity with a checklist and a rubric that eliminates subjective feedback, which is very important in this situation because a lot of times there needs to be decisions that are made that can affect the performance of that instructor in the future. Now, administration does have some concerns, which could be the result of formative mentoring reviews. You know, does it spark a structured dialogue between the mentor and mentee? Is it used for professional development planning? Is there a return on the investment in that area? And reactions by instructors can also be varied in this situation. Sometimes there might be a question or a misperception, and that should be addressed quickly and effectively so that to move on to the next step of the phase of mentoring. Mentee self-reviews. It gives them time to take a look at their performance and how that performance will affect their ability to teach courses in the future. Further research suggested 3 areas of study might be to determine the effectiveness of a mentoring program and the resources spent on faculty development. Also may want to address the usefulness of faculty development programs with and without established mentoring programs, which the feedback that I've received at different conferences is that there are universities and institutions of higher ed that do not have established mentoring programs, and many times the request is to implement these programs by faculty, but the resources may be a challenge. You also want to take a look at examining what faculty needs to know in order to be an effective online instructor. Mike?
Thank you, Hank. I want to introduce this portion with an overview of the faculty online observation system that we use, the FOO. And I would just add from what Hank mentioned on the mentoring is very important and can be added to any program. The FOO is also adaptable to any online program. It doesn't have to be just with e-college, it can be with Blackboard or any other form you're using, and can be adaptable to your program. So if you have any questions about that, make sure to contact Hank or I'd be glad to talk to you about it. The faculty online observation serves a number of purposes. First and foremost, it ensures the finest quality education for our online students. And next, it provides pragmatic instructional support for our online instructors. It gauges the needs and the strength of our online instructor delivery methods. And you know, we can only assume, we not only assume this, but we ensure that all online adjunct faculty members have completed training in the PARC online facilitation policies, that PDL 750 that I mentioned earlier. In addition, they have access to the online resource page. Those hired after September 2007, so now going into the 7th year, have been assigned and worked with the faculty mentor that Hank just discussed to guide them through their first online course following training, as well as continued support while teaching for PARC University. The FOO allows for an online observation of course facilitation by trained course observers of the FOO team and on course content evaluation. and then course content evaluation by the program coordinator. The FOO was developed from and evolved from the OIES, but it kept the four major portions, which are course organization, facilitation, building community in the online classroom, discussion, facilitation and instruction, and assessment, grading, and feedback. And it should be noted that it was very important to ensure that the observations performed on the online adjunct faculty were consistent, no matter which observer observed which faculty member in whatever course or whatever discipline. To ensure this consistency, the observers utilized an inter-rater reliability test period over 6 terms, a year and a half, in which each online observer observed 5 additional online faculty members each term. And these were the same observations by each of the 6 observers to check that the faculty observations were the same no matter which observer observed the faculty member. And these findings were statistically significant, revealing that no matter which observer were assigned to an adjunct faculty member, the observation rating would be consistent, that is, the same. These observers, also known as the Gang of 7, have utilized a weekly conference call to discuss any and all issues related to the adjunct observations and all other related issues since January of 2006. 4 of the same have been members of the gang since that time, and just as an aside, all members of the gang have been teaching for Park University since at least 2004, some even longer. As Hank mentioned, he was a mentor back in the earlier days before he moved over to the faculty online observation team. The FOO has many sections. First, the building community in the classroom. Well, I'll go with where the instructor creates and checking to see if the instructor creates an opening and inviting climate for the communication. To see if the instructor sets the tone for interaction via the course tools, the instructor office, introductions, announcements, discussion threads, gradebook comments. Or if the instructor is responding to student questions posted in the instructor office within 48 hours as recommended by best practices. Concerning discussion, facilitation, instructor, is the instructor substantively interacting in the discussion thread at least 4 days a week as recommended by best practice and directed by PDL Online Instructor Participation Policy. Or if the instructor's discussion postings were professional and clear, precise. They use discussion postings to augment further course content and provide examples to facilitate the understanding and application of course content. The importance of assessment, grading, and feedback. If the instructor establishes and meets deadlines for grading and feedback so that students can make timely adjustments. Or if they follow the rubric in discussion threads, written assignments, and apply these in their grading. The course climate and online environment, does the instructor maintain a positive atmosphere in the online course? Does the instructor model proper online classroom behavior? I would just go briefly over the steps of it. The faculty members are selected for review according on an annual basis. And again, all have completed PDL 750 and taught online for Park University for a minimum of a year, and this is after that first course in which they're mentored. The first step is the coordinator of PDL observation sends the instructor a letter of notification to let them know they're going to be receiving their annual online observation. And this letter doesn't just go out to them, it also notifies their program coordinator and their dean that this is coming about. They then receive an email from the actual observer who will be doing the course observation, who covers not only the weeks and the course that will be observed, but a lot of the ground rules of how they'll be doing the observation, and they're provided a copy of the FOO form, so there are no surprises on what the observation is going to entail. At one time there was more contact with the observer during the process. We certainly accept and questions from those being observed during the process, but we try to keep that between the mentor and their program coordinator or their departmental staff in teaching, and we try to stay strictly as observers to their performance. After completing the FOO, the instructor receives a copy of the completed FOO. They can make their comments to the completed FOO. The observer can then provide comments back, and the FOO is then provided to the program coordinator, who then does an evaluation of the course directly following the observation. Once that's signed off by the program coordinator, it finalizes and is put in the instructor's final or overall course records. Okay, Hank?
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Hank?
On instructor professional development and remediation, policies and procedures are very important to consider. We also have to think of critical thinking techniques. Many of the challenges when working with students comes to a point where some of the decisions have to be made, and they have to be made in a timely manner. Want to be able to establish rapport. Grading and rubrics. Rubrics are used in the grading purpose, and a lot of times students would like to have an explanation as to why they received a certain grade. There's operations and support. As one's working through a course, there can be challenges in the area of technology. There also can be different challenges as far as if something needs to be changed in a course and support is available. Park University, we practice online best practices, and this is a part that's been incorporated into our FOO process and our mentoring process. Online student adjunct faculty survey, this will be covered by Mike, and go ahead, Mike.
The question is, how valid is the FOO, and that is, are we evaluating and are we measuring and observing what we purport to be observing? The FOO was based on the results of a number of studies and research that have addressed best practices in facilitating online courses. Our administration at Park University has provided their agreement and buy-in. Our department chairs and program coordinators through the Distance Learning Advisory Committee have come to an agreement with the FOO process. But what do those who are actually being observed utilizing the FOO actually think? And what do the students that are on the receiving end of Park University online courses think? I've related that we're reviewing the major areas of the Park online courses. We asked a sample of online undergraduate students from every discipline the importance that they placed on the areas of the FOO. Additionally, we asked every online adjunct instructor the same questions. We received 1,210 student responses and responses from 268, or about 67% of the online instructors. And as time permits, let me provide you somewhat sobering and even surprising results that place the importance that both students and faculty have on various portions of the online courses. I'll move through these probably faster, but fortunately this is being recorded, so anyone viewing it can take their time going through the slides. Note on the red represents the percentage of instructors that considered a particular online course portion as very important on a 5-point Likert scale, and blue is the student responses. So you note just from the means of communication, for example, the student importance versus faculty, or faculty importance versus student importance, and those areas with the star represent where there was a statistically significant difference in the responses between students and faculty members. For example, students placing a much higher value on the importance of gradebook comments than the online instructor did, which is kind of surprising. But the instructors felt the communication within the discussion thread much more important than students. Sometimes it's hard to get the students to interact throughout the week, and the instructors do have a requirement to keep it going. And so it's interesting to note that only 55% of the students felt that that was very important. Concerning the building community in the classroom, it was very important for students. Although I say very important, about half the students felt that internet problems were very important to them. And I would have thought more, as anyone reading this may have thought more, but faculty, only 30% of faculty felt this was very important, which is surprising for an internet course. For building community in the classroom, note there were statistically significant differences in all levels of communication, where students placed a very high importance on timely emails within 24 hours, on getting responses back with gradebook comments to their assignments, on timely responses in the discussion thread, on instructors introducing themselves. When the student introduced themselves, they wanted a response back, and the instructor office, which is a critical item for us, that 8 of 10 students wanted and felt the instructor should respond back within 24 hours to any question they had within the instructor office. Discussion facilitation and note there wasn't much importance placed either way on getting auto-graded midterm comments, but the students were twice as likely to want them as the faculty were giving them. Likewise with auto-graded quizzes. They saw what questions they missed. They saw their score, so they weren't real excited either way of having comments there. The students were felt very important, high importance on getting comments on their final papers, their term papers and their core assessments, and assessment, grading, and feedback. Getting this helpful individualized feedback. 7 of 10 students felt that was very important versus only 5 of 10 faculty. This is a statistically significant difference. And getting graded in a timely manner. Again, almost 9 in 10 students felt this was important compared to only 7 of 10 faculty members. Finally, the course climate. Here the instructors placed a statistically significant higher importance on communicating clearly in writing, which they did to students. 8 in 10 felt that was important versus 7 in 10 of the students. And instructor response time. Note how the stars light up here as the grading of final exams. 7 in 10 students wanted it within 48 hours versus 5 in 10 faculty members. Midterm exams, 3/4 of students compared to 1/2 of the faculty members. Grading their term papers, 6 in 10 compared to 3 in 10 faculty. Homework weekly assignments, nearly 9 in 10. They wanted that feedback right away compared to only 5 in 10 faculty. And threaded discussions, they wanted grades on that right away. Here is basically the whole timeline and the whole process from an all-inclusive slide. It depicts the entire process that now represents the PARC online program. I'd like to just to take a few minutes to digest the contents. What we do at PARC is truly a process. It's successful because of many dedicated people. Student success is our objective. Our adjunct faculty are our biggest commodity for achieving this success. The process depicted represents the adjunct faculty progress from recruitment to becoming part of the team with the addition of future teaching assignments. I've covered the various steps depicted with the exception of PDL 752 that is currently under development to offer professional development and enhanced training for instructors that did not fare too well on their annual FOO. We don't want to lose them, so we want to get them retrained in areas that they need with more, and there'll be more to follow on this. We utilize an online instructor rating based on a 100-point scale made up of a number of components. The final FOO rating accounts for half of the points which make up the online instructor rating, 25 from the FOO, observation, and 25 from the program coordinators after we've done the FOO, but clearly an important part of the total score, which not only determines whether future courses will be assigned, but also the placement of the assignment, where they're offered a higher ranking in teaching and more students. In the near future, those instructors whose overall FOO rating indicates they need a bit more assistance will be given the opportunity to gain back some of those lost points by successfully completing our self-paced but robust online instructor remediation course, PDL 752. We have come a long way to meet the demands required to offer an outstanding online program with over 55,000 online annual enrollments. And like many of you, our program is like a Pillsbury Doughboy. You grow, you need faculty, you need courses, you need quality, you need academic advisors, you need counselors, you need academic support, you need course support, you need proctors, you need faculty support, you need faculty training, you need professional development, and so on, and so on, and so on. But you have to balance all of these. You can't have too many new faculty waiting to be trained. You can't have too many new faculty waiting to teach. You can't have faculty waiting to develop needed courses. And given all of this, you have to have quality courses and a quality program and a consistent program. And we're ensuring this with such things as our trimodal studying to ensure that all courses have the same syllabus and the same core learning outcomes and the same core assessments, no matter if they're taught in the classroom, face-to-face, or online, or hybrid. We are offering courses in class, hybrid, and online in the same manner, and PARC Distance Learning does this and constantly strives for success. And let's not forget the need for excellent, efficient academic and student service support. We changed the way that we recruited faculty. We're no longer in-class holdovers from Parkville and the SEL sites, but now we have a nationwide effort for this. We changed the way that we trained our online faculty. We changed the way we developed our courses and the way we evaluated and observed our faculty, and the way we evaluate courses, and the way we mentor new faculty, and the way we work with our stakeholders. Here is our contact information. We do hope that you will take what we're doing to heart, and if you would like any assistance from us or have any questions, don't hesitate to call. I'd like to thank you, the conference chair of the OTC. A special thanks to ET for her assistance in coordinating this presentation. And since this is a recorded session, feel free to ask questions about this by sending us an email at the below email address. Thank you.